Welcome back to the POPcast. What's good, everybody?
Hey! I see we all got our aesthetic big backgrounds happening here.
I would try to.
I just be given props of being a dope influencer without even trying.
I knew I was gonna hit there. Well done, Siabonga. You get one for this. You get one for this.
In this COVID-19 time, you take all the credit. You take all of it.
Yeah, nah, don't worry, my nigga. I hear you. You deserve it.
Tony, we like this one. Leave the headboard. It's enough.
Come on. But this one means I must be outside. My internet gives me problems. It's
You
safer.
must get some air. Must get some air.
It's safer in the bedroom.
And look at how springy she looks. She is so springy. She got the shoulders out. She got the chest all out.
Got the braids going on.
Oh, you know it's real when they show you the whole neckline.
You guys are so. Anyway.
We're just getting jealous. Jealous.
No, don't worry about me. Worry about the comments after this. The comments are going to be like, yo, Miss Cosmo, I am just here for you.
You're looking really good, Cosmo. She got the quarantine glow.
Yo, you must go see a post. Yo, Scoop, you must go check a post out right now. Missing Miami. Damn.
I saw it. Bikini, what? She's there in the bikini and everything.
Damn.
Good time.
Scoop's offline. You can keep him offline.
Is it a throwback Thursday or throwback Thursday?
You're offline, so it's fine. As long as you don't see it, it's okay. Anyway, let's move on to, more important matters. You and I were both lockdown babies. We're celebrating this past week our birthday in lockdown. A lot of people have also been celebrating their birthdays in lockdown. And it's so dope how you see like majority of the industry are also born in April. Speedsta's birthday is on the 22nd. David Gow's on the 18th. AB Crazy was on the 21st of April, which I thought was really dope because Kuli had posted about, do you know his voice was the one, he actually sang the Tando Sam chorus. Have you heard how high-pitched that chorus is?
Tanda Sam.
I haven't.
Yes.
Tanda Sam.
Yes, Kuli Chana tweeted and he was like, AB Crazy recorded that. That's his verse. He just tweaked it a bit to be a little bit high-pitched.
Shout out,
How crazy is that?
Yeah, shout out.
That is insane.
But
How crazy is that?
For a while, eh? Remember with Fifi Cooper with Mnati Bawena?
Yes, he also produced Mnati Bawena. He also did Fifi Cooper's Kisses. That was the tune that he did with Fifi Cooper. But yeah, man, shout out. Like, he's damn talented. I just don't think people give him his roses as much. Also, Boiti's birthday is also now in April. She's going to be celebrating towards the end of April. Nikki Newland was on the 13th of April. So there's just a whole lot of us.
Pretty
And
ugly,
we're all on lockdown. Huh?
Pretty ugly, Aries.
Yes.
Big hash.
SPK, D, Babyface Dean.
It's too many of us. But
too many of you guys.
We're making the most of it. It sucks because, hey, birthday Cosmo is the Cosmo you'll ever meet.
Zayn Osman is also, so I had an idea. I talked to Zayn, it was his birthday 2 days ago. When this airs, it will be 3, I think. So I said to him, we should do an Aries party. We've got everybody, even how can we forget Uncle Vinny?
Yes, Uncle Vinny's finally legal. Yo.
Come on, Uncle Vinny.
He's in the clubs.
Your Uncle Vinny's been killing it and he only turned 18 now.
So can we coordinate the efforts and have a nice Aries party? We've got the artists, we've got the MCs, we've got the DJs. Let's just start something now.
Let's just make it happen.
As soon as lockdown is done. Soon as lockdown is done.
We're postponing Aries to June.
I was about to say it's 2021, guys. There's so many of you guys.
Nah.
So what are the rules? Only people that are born in April can attend or what?
No.
It's celebrate the people that are born in April, but everybody can come along.
Everybody's invited.
Yeah, Speedy, we'll probably book you for free.
Okay, cool. My birthday is like at the end of April anyway, so.
No, your birthday's in May. Don't say end of April. His birthday's in May. But you might also be a lockdown birthday because we don't know yet. We're going to hear from the president and what he has to say.
Hopefully, if all goes well, well, if all goes well, we're gonna be out of lockdown with regulations. That's what I'm assuming, just from whatever. I didn't hear it anyway.
Regulations how? What do you mean? In terms of like being restricted to do certain things or what? Can you just highlight it?
I think so like the president said in the speech that they obviously gonna, allow more essential services to kind of operate, just because the economy is really, really bad.
Mhm.
So I think by that he means, we won't be under complete lockdown. He did mention also that it's gonna be done in phases. So maybe let's say Western Cape and Gauteng, because we got the highest numbers, maybe our regulations will be a lot more stricter than the Free State and the North. These are just assumptions, obviously. So I don't think we'll be under full lockdown. I think we'll be able to do certain things with certain measures.
Yeah, but the entertainment industry is definitely going to be the one that actually gets unlocked the last, I think, because obviously we come together in large numbers. We come together with alcohol, which are obviously most of the restrictions. So it's going to be very tricky for entertainment and the creative arts more than any other industry. Obviously, if you're in banking, you're going to get straight back into work if you are doing a normal 9 to 5. But for us, it's going to be tough because they still need to be careful, because if the virus is still lurking and there's no vaccine, we can't really have hundreds and thousands of people coming together for a party. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, but at least can have a birthday dinner. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Just to see
As long as you're paying, Speedy, we're there.
Aye. POPcast.
Asnamali.
You got my birthday. It's my birthday.
Asnamali.
I can't pay. I really
Oh,
can't.
goodness. But yeah, there's definitely a lot.
I just wanted to touch on the speech. I wasn't listening, and shout out to you, Speedy, for coming with the facts, bro.
Yo, that's what he said. Well, he didn't say what I said, but from what he said, that's what I kind of gathered myself.
Because other people are thinking that because he also gave a speech and he said that he's issuing, what was the talk about the 500 billion? Am I quoting the number right?
Too many billions.
No, you quoted
we haven't had that money.
You quoted it correctly. He basically said that there's going to be a grant, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be given out to people who aren't working at the moment, who can't earn an income. Obviously, there's those who have children who are also able to claim a certain amount of money. I think the maximum is 350, if I'm not mistaken, per person. But I could be wrong on my details. But the 500 billion was correct with how much he's actually distributing. But obviously, that's going to be segmentalized. I think 20 million, if I'm not mistaken, is also 20 billion rather, is going to the municipalities. And then obviously the rest is
I still don't hear you mentioning anything about the arts. We're waving our hands, they were drowning in the water.
So Mr. Arts and Culture, Mr. Natim Teta tweeted, and on his tweet, he mentioned that if you are still requesting financing or you're still requesting financial relief, here is an option for you, which is a BASA fund, relief fund, which is the Business Arts of South Africa. So my question also sits back, and I say this in that you are the Minister of Arts and Culture. You have been given 150 million. You haven't told us where the 150 million is gone, but you're redirecting us to another fund for relief. What's happening?
DG, I know you got something to say on this.
He's sour now.
Shoo!
350. Maybe that's what I need right now.
Maybe that's what we need to pay for our cars. Maybe that's what we need to pay for our loans. Maybe that's what we need to pay for our bonds, our rent, insurance. The sad part about this, I actually saw a video of some guy who was in America who was saying that you guys have basically told us as government that we can't work. We adhere to your rules and we understand from a health perspective we must stay home. So we're staying home and we're listening to you. But not at any point are you trying to meet us halfway with to like how much we're able to actually get from a financing perspective. Speak to the banks for them to actually defer the loans, because some of them are actually saying you must still pay the interest, but then you are not going to pay the actual loan amount. And it's like, but how am I going to get the money for the interest in the first place if I'm not working? Just extend the length of the loan and make it, if I was paying off for 10 months, then make it 13 months so that I can still pay it when we're out of this mess. It's a bit of a tricky situation that we're in, but I definitely think that the creative industry is suffering the most because we've got absolutely no direction coming from our minister, whereas other departments seem to be getting some support. I know the manufacturing departments are obviously getting some support, agriculture, all of those areas are all getting support, but us who are keeping people entertained during the lockdown are getting nothing.
Where's all this money coming from? I'm so confused.
Which money?
Like, we don't have this money as the country.
500 billion.
All of these, yeah, we're like...
It's probably
from our taxes.
Eh?
From our taxes.
Maybe it's also, maybe it's probably...
We're not borrowing money.
Maybe
I heard him talking about World Bank, but he's talking too much.
Yeah, maybe it's World Bank. Maybe it's borrowing money from the World Bank. Obviously, that means
taxes are going to go up.
Well, our debt as a country, obviously, if we do follow that, countries are in certain debts, you know what I mean? Just asking money to try and revive the economy. So it could be that maybe some people will say, cool, we'll learn. Maybe like, let's say China, for example, say, we'll loan you guys 100 million, you know, just to at least recoup back what, you know, for business. It could be like business adventures that they're coming to invest more, etc., etc. It's just, I don't know, we just probably need a specialist who can probably dissect this shit for us. My problem is this. And I'm going to throw it back to you guys, right? When this thing started, right? And I'm not throwing none of you guys under the bus. Was there a group that was formed that was said, hey guys, please do 1, 2, 3 about COVID-19, telling people, and we will try pay A, B, and C? What happened to that group?
I don't even know about the group.
The group still exists, but
so what are they?
Has fallen on deaf ears, in my opinion.
So now they got us to speak about some sort of things, you know, because we're hoping for some sort of relief to say, cool, we'll talk about, fine, guys, sanitize your hands, wash this, keep social distancing, but Tololo to come back to answer us.
That's how it's always been.
And yet we still, then why do we fucking keep on falling for this shit? That's my problem. Why do we keep on fucking
Because we're artists and we're desperate and we need the money. The unfortunate thing about it.
I personally think like for the messaging of COVID-19 and staying healthy, I think whether the government was involved or not, as people with the platform that we have, it was necessary that we say and actively show some support for the country and the people. I get that.
Correct.
And I will add to what you're saying and be like, you're right, you know. I remember when the request was sent on the artist part to please, can you guys on your specific platforms do A, B, and C? Now, there are some artists that are still hashtagging institutions. Some artists' posts are very actively hashtagging institutions that I think are involved in remunerating those artists.
Yeah, so what I was gonna say is I don't think, look, I'm not defending them, but I don't think we as the POPcast came to a conclusion with them or that group. I mean, the conversation was all up in the air. Noni, I don't think we came to a conclusion where we said, okay, here's the deal moving forward. We just spoke about it because, you know, it's part of our responsibility. So
are you guys blaming us?
No, I'm not blaming. What I'm saying is that we can't necessarily say fuck them if we haven't sent them documents, if we haven't sent them proper proposals, which we have ready, so that we come to a conclusion. So we know that if we're saying B or you're hashtagging B, you're getting paid for it, or you're not getting paid for it, but you're on the same page. I think it was all in the air, especially because most of us left the group. You know,
was there a thing saying send a proposal, or was there a thing send us whatever you have and we'll look at it after to see how we can compensate you guys?
I don't
That's
know.
but that's what Natin Teto's fund actually stated. So that one that had a deadline of the 6th of April, if I'm not mistaken, that was the day. If you were a freelancer, if you were in the arts department, whatever the case may be, for you to qualify for the 150 million, you had to send through some sort of a proposal and also mention how much money you as a freelancer has lost by not being able to work during this time. So if you had sent a proposal, you were live. Well, they would obviously adjudicate and decide who gets money. My thing is, when are they going to announce who gets this 150 million? Because it hasn't been announced.
Okay, I just want to clarify something. Was there one when they asked us and we did one say, hey guys, APNC, yes, correct, that we're doing this to educate people and we're doing this for the love of our people, right? But was there something else that, hey guys, please push on your platform, show to us, we'll see how much we can give you guys? Just answer the questions. I just want those questions asked because at the end of the day,
we have a conversation.
We just like
in the WhatsApp group, and I was in the WhatsApp group, and I mentioned it to you guys to say here is an opportunity, and and I came back and I answered your question just now, VG. You're making me repeat myself. Okay. Yes, there was a group. Yes, that was the request, but it's fallen on deaf ears.
So
nothing has come back, nothing has been returned, nothing has been said.
So by blue tick,
I mean, the whole department is blue ticking at this stage of the game because how was an MEC supposed to answer if the minister himself is not saying anything?
So now
they have a spokesperson. Don't they have a spokesperson? They have a spokesperson they just hired.
Did you guys see Sibuma Bena's tweet? Did you see Sibuma Bena's tweet?
I saw Sibuma Bena's tweet and I support her 1000%.
Yeah. And you know what it takes? It always takes that just that one person.
For people who didn't see it, let's hear about it.
Yeah, it always takes, I think we'll pop it up right now on the podcast, you know? But it always takes that one person to be cancelled for people just to move forward. That's something about the entertainment industry also as well, is that sometimes maybe we don't speak for ourselves, we don't speak up front, and we actually complain about this shit because it'll take that one person to say, then the person is cancelled, then we're like, on to the next Tina Sahola, Asnanda. Do you understand? Where the person's like, hey guys, I'm actually fighting for A, B, and C. An example will be...
What is this cancelling story?
An example will be, like, remember when Black Coffee with the YFM thing, right? You do remember where he said, stop playing my music, etc. because artists are being exploited, A, B, and C. Do you understand? Boom, boom, that thing just vanished. Artists were like, Tina Sanda was saying again. You understand? For me, it's like, when are we going to stand together as a unit to fight, say, hey, you are actually right, we demand to be paid. You understand? There are monies that are owed to artists right now. You understand? But no one is choosing to speak about it. And that's my issue. It only takes that one person to speak about it, then the person is cancelled. Then we're like, hey, new campaign coming, we need to vote. But it's like, hey guys, please tweet, please wear our jackets, please do whatever. And we're going to do these whole rallies and you guys are going to perform against APNC. Then the others who are talking are forgotten about.
What did Sibu say? I didn't get the Sibu Mabena. What did she say?
Sibu basically asked Nati and Maschava that, hey guys, what are you guys doing for artists, you know? And she's texted them and she's just been blue ticked. No answer.
And it's crazy because she is involved in the arts, but she is auxiliary to the arts, whereas it should be something that should be championed by artists.
And you know what's going to happen? I'm sure she probably got so many people hitting her up like, yo, don't say things like that. Wow. That's the sad thing about this game. I mean, I don't know. That's why at some point I'm just like, there's nothing else to say, so team. I'd rather just survive, make means for myself, and right. But I'll tell you something, the arts and culture does not fucking support us. I'll say it again. No, they don't fucking support us. After the day will die, you'll be condolences to your family. That's it.
You know my view on politics, and you spoke about Black Coffee. You know, I just did an interview with him just before now, and for a man and a person who's such a huge global brand, we did it on Insta Live. And the dude was so real about South Africa, the situation that artists find themselves in because of themselves. Mm-hmm. Basically, the disunity amongst each other and why we can't really progress. Mm-hmm. Also talking about the fact that at home, things are not looked at basically on that subject, we're talking about money going outside in these days and times. You know, he was very open and honest, man, and I hope people can check out that interview. He also talked about the fact that in the divorce and spending time with his son after this quarantine, he went to go wash the car with his son, and he got angry, and he realized that, yo, I hadn't been around to be a father to teach my son how to wash a car. And I'm just talking about that because as a brand like him, he was so political. Not political, he was very conscious about himself and the situation. And sometimes as artists, we feel like we have things to protect, and we don't realize that, especially in these times, what are we protecting? This is the time to revolt and really be about what we should be about.
Yeah, it's tricky, and it's also hard because you want to be able to fight for what you believe in, but then at the second, on second thought, you also sit back and you're like, ish, but you also don't want to get too many people angry. But it's at a point where we are clearly not being looked after, and we're also clearly not looking after each other. As Speedy had mentioned in the last episode that we had, where DJ Envy actually had a fund to actually gather money for those DJs who aren't able to earn an income at this time. There isn't something like that of so-called unity that we are doing as South Africans to kind of assist each other. But I guess here and there we'll kind of, I don't know, we'll see where people need help. If they do also then pick their hands up for help.
Noni, it's even way beyond that. I'm sorry if maybe Vich is on a rant and shit today, you know? But I've picked this up. Sorry, no, man, I'm not, you know? But it's just sometimes I hate the fact that we are not open and honest with each other. Sometimes just say, dude, I don't fuck with you. I'm not going to answer A, B, and C, or we're not real. You understand? It comes to a point where you voice something. Hey, guys, how are you guys coping up in this need? No one will answer, right? But they'll answer something else, or gimmicks, or games, whatever. And you presume, okay, so I take it all you guys are fine. I take it you guys in the next 6 months you're fine, you know? And I'll say this, I'll come out and say this, Noni, right? When this thing happened, the COVID-19, right? I remember in our group, actually, right, in the POPcast group, I was like, hey, guys, maybe this is innovation for the digital space, etc., right? But, Noni, you came back and you corrected me and said, VG, for you, it probably may not impact you as much as it's probably impact us because obviously we don't get that salary that you get or whatever, you know, or we depended solely on gig money for to fix everything in our lives, you know. And I was like, oh shit, Noni, you're actually correct because I didn't think about it that way because I wasn't thinking, oh man, I've got a salary that comes, yes, but now I'm looking at it, I'm like, shit, my gig money's gone, right? It's impacting me. And this is me being honest, open and honest to the three of you guys that, hey guys, I am going to see shit. I am seeing shit because I don't know how I'm going to make means meet with A, B, and C somehow, you know? A salary can only do so much, you understand? Where I know with the gig money, it used to patch 1, 2, 3 things. I used to save 1, 2, 3 things, you know? Right now, I'm at a point where I'm like, shit, I'm going to see shit, guys. But as friends, are we open and honest with each other to see how am I going to help the next man? You understand? If there's groups where you're like, hey guys, how you guys doing? When meanwhile, you know that there's people who actually are not gigging, who are not doing anything, or who haven't saved, or who live hand to mouth, but they won't even come out and say, it's shit, VG. We need help. How can you help me? You know, sometimes even just say, don't worry, my brother, I've got $100, I'll donate for you, go to take a swinker for the whole week. But it won't come out as real.
Hard, man. It's hard, especially because we're in such an egocentric industry. I think that also kind of sometimes outweighs your being able to stand up and say, yo, man, I haven't been saving. I haven't been able to sort things out financially. I'm in a bit of a corner. Please, can you help? You know, it's difficult for a lot of people to actually reach out and have those conversations. But I think people also kind of think to themselves and say, will I be able to pay this person back if they do help me? They also think about that conversation. But it's also not to kind of break down all the other opportunities that have been presented to us. I mean, obviously, if you've made contact with some of your banks, you might have been able to at least get moratoriums, payment holidays, things like that. It's just extremely difficult at a time like this where you're basically being told that, oh, okay, cool, for this period, maybe don't pay this, but you still need to pay a small portion. I don't know. It's a catch-22 at the end of the day. We just need help. We need a way forward. At the end of the day, we're still a very big contributed to the country's GDP. And I think that's what the government is not paying attention to for us. And that's what the cry is for. Also part of the country. We also pay our taxes. Assist us with the taxes that we pay, so that you guys come and audit and chase after whenever you see us buying big things. You know what I mean? Big cars, big houses. But we're the last people on the list for assistance.
I'm glad that you said you did. I'm glad. No.
And to be
I
honest,
definitely need help. I'm not even gonna act like I don't. I need the help just as much as the next guy. I need the help.
You must call me if you need help. If I can help you guys somehow, I will help. As a friend, I'll help.
And to be honest, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Even outside of COVID-19 times, I don't think that it's time for us to be looking for help elsewhere. It's never come. Whenever we look for help outside, especially with politics, it's never come. And right now is the time for us to really understand that, yes, a statement with the black child, you are on your own. We're really on our own. And we really have to gather each other. And it might not be the whole industry, but find your nucleus of people that you are going to be able to cope with. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the money goes with the 500 billion, the other millions that are being taken out in other provinces to assist with groceries, and you're seeing in the Eastern Cape, the groceries that are being bought, it's despicable. The money, I feel like, is just being put aside to get looted. That's what I feel.
It's both ways, Scoop. You know, sometimes I look at it, I'm like, you know, there are people in need of money. The guys, Fortnite, you know, the contractors, and you know, and I'm like, you know what, people are in need of money. You understand? And I'm glad that some people will get assisted some way. I'm happy, you know. But you know, sometimes I'm just crying, what about the child support? You know, those little things, you know, because I think those things are not raised up, you know. Whereas if you have a child now and you haven't been paying for the past 2 months now, you know what I mean? Is it going to be back to square one where you guys are fighting again? Are people going to be looked after? Do you understand? Is it that thing where...
In the president's speech, he did mention that there was a grant claim for children. So if you have children, there is an amount that you can claim from the grant that part of the 500 billion that he mentioned in the speech. So I just think it's a case of actually investigating a little bit further and seeing how you qualify and then applying for those grants if you have children. It's just going to be tricky for those parents who do support their kids and those who just doing it because they can cash in on that money. But that's a conversation for another day.
Guys, did you see that new song of J Molley's? Did you see how much he's rapping this year?
He's rapping hard.
Yo, he's really,
he was
really
going in, but I appreciate the fact that he's also paying attention to his art a little bit more, because I always felt like he was a little timid and he was a little scared and he was just too introverted for my liking. But I can see him like crawling out of his skin, like he's literally just like, yo, you know, I'm definitely, you know, becoming the J Molley that I'm supposed to be. So shout outs to him.
I also think maybe it's for him. He's been building this fan base all along, and now he's trying to take people and say, this is who J Molley is. So, and as you're saying, Gucci is growing on you. Yes, it's true. And the fan base will now, the people who probably followed him all along probably know his style, but now it's like, oh shit, actually, this guy can rap, you know? And, you know, it exposes us to another thing. So I think I don't know, man. I'm just happy that the whole game, especially as hip hop, that it's coming out, it's bringing out people to be creative and people just to do amazing shit, you know? It's just dope.
Something that's also pretty amazing that I see that people are doing, well, one entity is doing, and actually, funny enough, the last time I saw J Molley perform was at Pop Bottles in Cape Town. Pop Bottles also has an initiative at the moment where they are trying to support any new talent or new event organizers, and they're going to give them a sponsorship package of 120,000. That's the value of the...
Sorry.
That's dope. You froze, Noni.
Noni, you frozen there. CCTV. I don't know.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
We can hear you.
You're back.
You're back.
Can you hear me?
You're back.
Am I back?
You can repeat it again because it's wonderful.
All right. So Pop Bottles has this initiative where they're going to be sponsoring any new event organizers. So if you need the sponsorship, it's going to be to the value of 120,000 Rand. I think they're basically going to be supporting from a perspective of radio, media, TV, digital, that type of support to make sure that your event actually reaches the people that you need to actually come to your event. So I think it's dope for up and coming event organizers.
Yeah.
It's also dope because Pop Bottles has been doing this thing for years now, and they're obviously then passing the baton down to say, yo man, we've been killing it, but we also want you guys to also kill it in the game as much as we have. So I think shout out to Pop Bottles, man.
And I think it's also for new events organizers, because a lot of the time when they try throw gigs, they come across a lot of obstacles, such as understanding that you need a jock, you need something called a public liability, you need to have fencing, you need to have all sorts of things that you have to have in order for your event to happen. And I think a lot of people don't know about those things. So to them, it may be like I've had a lot of the times where guys are like, no, everyone knows me in my hood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the stadium, I'm going to put a stage, and we're going to rock it. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not that easy. There's so many things involved. There's toilets, there's fencing, as I mentioned. There's security, there's stage and lighting. That alone, you haven't even booked an artist, is close to 200,000. Another 200,000 to get fucking black coffee. Like, it's a mess. So a lot of people find themselves in a lot of trouble. I think we've spoken about it before, where we spoke about event insurance. A lot of people don't know about that kind of thing. So it's not just giving you 120,000 Rand value. Shout out to Red Bull and YFM. It's also them giving you millions of rands in terms of knowledge and experience, and teaching you how to do it properly.
Yeah.
And that's a shout out also, again, sorry, Nani, I just wanted to add the fact that the Pop Bottles platform is not just giving away the money. They've had a series of footages on Instagram and wherever else their platform is, where you guys have been there, yourself, Speedy, was there, teaching people about these nitty-gritties and nuances about hosting events, you know? And I think just not giving the money and also coupling it with knowledge is also a dope thing. And also, think about it, guys, giving away 120,000 in these times.
Yeah.
Yo.
Shout out to Red Bull.
Shout outs to all the sponsors as well, because also the important thing that people also need to remember here is that as much as Pop Bottles is coming on board and they are supporting whatever event that they're going to sponsor at the end of the day, the event still belongs to the event organizer. So the event organizer mustn't feel as though their creative has been taken away and it's being owned by somebody else. You still own the creative. The event is still yours. This is just a support structure. This is just a sponsorship. This is just to elevate the next young guy to get into the eventing space and to experience how it feels to actually put together a huge production. So shout outs to Dimples and the team, man. I think it's really awesome.
I think we need to give one more shout out to the brands that made that possible. Speedy, you got them?
Red Bull and YFM.
Shout outs, man. Well done. Shout outs to them. There's also a few guys, obviously, we've been seeing in the spaces that are doing amazing things, you know? So shout outs to the brands that are reaching out, that are not locking doors to say, "Hi guys, on Bona post COVID-19," you know what I mean? At least they are trying to move to say, "Hey guys, this is how we can help you," you know? And for me, the artists are going to be the influencers, you know, the freelancers, you know, the people who are shooting behind the scenes, you know, from that person with the production team. They are going to be the freelance. They are the influencers right now. So I'm glad that the brands are helping out and they're doing better than arts and culture. Shout outs to them.
And then a lot of things, Speedy kind of switched the topic real quick there, because I could tell he was like, you guys are getting too political. Hey, Jay Molley, I just wanted to say, I also would have appreciated it. I don't know if it's happened, but during this time, with so much money being asked for and money being the real thing being talked about over and above health, I would have appreciated it if the ministers or the president in one of the speeches could say, we've managed to get a pay cut.
They did. They mentioned it.
Oh,
I think.
did?
Yeah. The president mentioned it in one of his first speeches. I think it must have been when he. It was a speech before he announced the lockdown, the extension of the lockdown. He did mention that all ministers are going to take a third of their salary pay cut, and that is going to be contributing towards the relief funds.
Let's hope they just don't make it up with the 500 billion.
Hey, man,
Subscribing,
you know
keep
what?
liking.
You know what? As much as everybody's going off and they're busy complaining about this and the next thing, I still think the Cyril's approach was much faster than most of the other countries. So I still want to kind of support the fact that he's making ends meet. Ooh, I'm losing my English. He's making ends meet wherever he possibly can. Other countries are completely like suffering right now, and they've got way higher numbers than we do as South Africans. So I think the approach that the president has taken is really trying to save us as a country, and then obviously then trying to make means wherever possible. But at the end of the day, we also need to be aware of the fact that, you know, we do have to borrow the money here and there. And obviously conspiracy theorists will say, hey, China created this thing because they were trying to attack America and the rest of the world got attacked. But, you know, I'll leave that up to VG and Scoop to deliberate on.
What were you going to say, Speedy?
Noni needs to go back to the headboard because the Wi-Fi got her fast forwarding and doing all types of crazy shit.
You know, now Scoop.
Oh, man. Okay.
Scoop is gonna say, "Hey, see, you guys are trying too much to be like me out here."
Relax, sir. I didn't say that. Relax.
Oh,
BG.
okay.
Okay, so you remember when I was speaking about, like, I think it was a time for us to also, as artists, try and think outside the box and cut out the middleman. Two things that like happened overseas. Have you guys seen what Travis Scott is doing with Fortnite, the gaming platform?
No.
I know it's happening. It's Wednesday, ne?
Casper.
Yeah.
I saw Casper and Bafana.
Shout out to Casper.
So, just to talk about the art and like how dope things are happening outside of our country. So there's this online gaming platform called Fortnite, and they are you create your own player, you create your own terrain and whatnot. I haven't played it. I'm just talking about what I know and hear. But they are making a series of days with shows with Travis Scott.
That's dope, eh?
And he's becoming a character in the game. The people that already subscribe to the game can have their characters go to this secret location and go watch the game, so on and so forth. I just think it's a dope type of thing in these days and times that we're facing restrictions on how to perform. I know that it's America and it might not happen in SA, but I'm just saying that it's a great indication of, what else is lying outside the norm? Secondly, Upasha, that Pasha guy.
Who's that?
He's made a platform, the preacher.
Hey.
Oh, Bushiri.
Hey.
That guy, I don't know where his court case was at. But that guy, so this dude, I don't know where his court case is at, but what he's done already, since they can't gather publicly, he's made an app. You pay $80 for a month subscription on this app. Last week, he had about, I think, 15,000 people. This Sunday, he's estimated to have more than 25,000 people on his app. Times that by 80 Rand, you do the math.
What is it doing with the money?
Saying, paying for his court fees, I guess.
Hey.
You know
what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is
talking about peace and whatever. Bye.
What I'm trying to say is the lateral thinking. The lateral thinking for people who are not as prominent as entertainers. And I think we are very scared to kind of like dump the old format and really head to new territory. And I understand it.
Yeah.
Bushiri is an entertainer, just by the way. That's why people follow him.
So definitely we have to be innovative. You know, we have to think what's next. We have to think post COVID-19, what's going to happen. You know, we have to be well aware. It's like history. This is history, and history is always, we have to learn something in order for not to repeat itself again. So from here moving on forward, it's like, cool guys, we've been through this phase. So how are we not going to make the same mistakes as we did in 2020? You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that everyone will be innovative. I hope so for the game. But yet again, I'm going to bring it back, right? Poets, writers, technicians, the people who are doing productions, you know, the freelancers, the production, everything, DJs, arts, any form of arts in J. Where is arts and culture for us? Because without that, I don't know.
And a smart person that's in politics will probably say, you know, as entertainers, you guys are dope at having so many hundreds of thousands of millions of people on your platform, but what you don't do is structure. Because we can speak and tweet and have these platforms and we can say a lot of things, but the fact that we have had so many people be successful in South African entertainment in various platforms, and we still don't have a union. We can't address things with no union. These are the things that make you be able to step up to governmental structures and be able to point fingers and ask for things. But if we're still doing it as just people with following, we won't get there. We need to sort of structure our ish. Just like if you're an artist, you are only going to get a booking fee until you structure yourself as a company. Do you get what I'm saying? Right now, we're all individual artists. We're not centralizing the power, and a union centralizes the power. I don't know of how many people have tried to start a union. I know Tony Horoja did try, and artists let him down because they were facing a big court case. And we're not going to get anything achieved if we're thinking that one person is just going to roll there, speak on behalf of artists without having signed documents. Even political parties, that's why they call themselves, yo, I'm a card-carrying member. We need to elevate ourselves to that structure so that we can say, checkmating over. You wouldn't listen to us as individuals, but now we formalize ourselves so that we can be listened to in the houses of governance.
True.
Yeah, we hear you.
True.
Tricky times indeed.
It's unity. Do you know who I miss, guys? No.
I see.
Money?
Nunraiza.
Nunraiza.
Hello, I'm here.
Okay,
we can hear you.
We can hear you.
I'm here.
Yeah, what's up?
I was letting VG finish. Okay, anyway, I was gonna say, did you guys see that video that was circulating of Doja Cat meeting Whoopi Goldberg? So in the video, she meets Whoopi Goldberg and she's like, yo, it's so awesome for me to meet you, but it's so crazy how you know my dad. And then she's like, who's your dad? He's like, oh no, he was in Sarafina with you, because remember Whoopi Goldberg was in Sarafina and he played Crocodile in Sarafina. He also played Chester in Yizo Yizo, just in case you needed a bit of a background. So Utumsani Dlamini is her father. And then she's like, yeah, it's crazy how you've met my father and worked with him, but I've never met him before in my life. And everybody was just like, tricky times.
What does she mean?
Huh? She's never met him before, but she knows who her father is. And he comments on her page all the time. Whenever Doja Cat posts something or whenever she releases music, he's always like reposting or he's commenting, my African princess, but he's never met her. And it's like, oh, she's the African princess. Why haven't you made the effort to go and meet your daughter?
Oh, he made her on tour. What?
You didn't meet her on tour. He was in the States at some point. I think he was doing some work there.
Chester made her on tour.
Well, I think he was actually in a relationship with Doja Cat's mom. And then this article that I read is that he had to come back to South Africa for work. And then her mom decided to stay in the States and he came back to South Africa. And that's when the relationship ended. And then obviously
you guys know Saul Masikela.
Saul.
Saul Masikela. Same story.
And
pretty much.
So does that make him a deadbeat dad?
I think he's deadbeat because he's only claiming her now that she's famous. It's not like it's not like he hasn't known about her. Huh?
I'm saying there's email. There's you could write a letter. You could call the mom. You could do so many things. It's just sad that it like re-emphasizes the point of South African men. You know what I'm saying?
It's disappointing, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, just out there, just being deadbeat dad. So everybody's calling him one of those because they're just like, how was it that you haven't met your daughter, but now you want to claim her?
Would you guys call out your friends that are deadbeat fathers?
Definitely.
Not on the show, but like in
I
private,
would.
yeah.
Okay, that's good, Julie. I think we should.
Not on the show.
Most of my friends
In
don't.
private,
Huh?
Most of my friends
not
don't.
on the show. You can call them out in private.
Okay, cool.
What do you say, Speedy?
Most of my friends don't have kids.
Most of your friends don't have kids.
How do you know?
Most of my friends who have kids claim their children. So
You have to.
Most of my friends don't have kids they know about.
Yeah, I'm saying you have to. You have to because I don't think I sometimes I just puzzle to find myself in this day and age. I don't even call them fathers. They don't even deserve to have the term father. You understand? Are these men? Not even men, I don't know. It's men actually. Are these guys still living life like this in this day and age to say, "Angnanda, let me just live for myself," which is just disgusting, actually.
there's plenty men like
They
that.
are, bro. They are.
Condoms, guys, please, eh?
The parents,
Are
Alright.
condoms still getting
parents
used
don't
during
claim for the
quarantine?
child.
Guys, bye-bye. Talking about condoms and what now. Aye.
Yeah, go use a
But did
condom,
you
man.
see-
Yeah?
Oh, you don't
Condom,
use them,
man.
Speedy?
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, I use condom.
Yeah,
I
Speedy.
use condom.
You
Oh.
don't use them, Speedy?
Yeah, Speedy, tell us. Yeah?
No, you guys are now I'm abstaining also, so it doesn't apply for me.
That's good, Papa, eh?
Are condoms being sold during quarantine? Are condoms are being available?
I'm sure they're sold out.
I don't know.
I'm sure they're sold out. I hope they're sold out.
Not done South Africa.
Yeah, I'm sure they're sold out.
Thank you for joining. See you on Tuesday. Have a good weekend.
Yo, artists, we need more content from the artists. We need more content.
Tsecho and Teleman are going to be doing their IG live this week.
Are you the judge? Are you the judge? Wait. Hey, are you the judge? Tell us.
I'm just happy to see that their battle is happening and it's going to happen tomorrow. And I'm quite keen to
Who's
actually
taking
watch.
it?
Hey,
Who's
and also,
wait, who's taking it? No. This is just before, Jay. Who's your money on? Tsecho and Teleman.
I think Tsecho, because if you think, isn't it okay? Actually, I don't know, because it's gonna go according to the criteria. But if we go hit Teleman, then we're talking whipped, mayo, which those are like the smashes.
The big one.
Yeah. Then of course you have like the SAPs.
Yes. He's also got that song he did with Nasty. Dance was also a dope song.
Dance.
And then obviously Tsecho has also got some really awesome features. Vibe was really dope. He's got No Ties, Garden, so it's gonna be interesting to watch.
Yeah, he's on Raga, no?
No.
Yes. No. Tsecho's not on Raga. He's
not
on
on Raga.
He's on Milkshake song. Squaw.
Oh,
No.
squad.
Squad.
Yo, speaking of the battles, you guys Teddy Riley and Babyface.
I didn't watch it, man.
I didn't
watch the second one. Apparently it was a mess.
I just saw the list. The first and the second one, no. The first one was a mess.
I didn't watch either of them because I was just disappointed by what Twitter was saying, so I didn't bother.
I just saw the list of hits.
But I'm glad, like, from looking at, like, obviously they said is it the iOS that got crashed or like Instagram got crashed or something like that. Yeah, it goes to show how influential Black music is in the world. You know what I mean? I think we should be proud of the fact that as Black people, this music thing, this rhythm actually comes. You know, it comes from us.
What happened to Tory? I saw currency rate is over. What, did they kick him off as well? What?
They paused him again.
They paused him again because the CEO keeps pulling his account because he keeps having nudity on the account. So the CEO of Instagram says, we love quarantine radio, but when there's nudity, we can't allow it to continue because it goes against the bylaws.
Hey, I saw another nudity thing that was going around. I won't get into it.
Which one? Tell us.
Two South African celebrity on the live.
Oh my gosh, I saw that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
keep on. Yo, wait a minute. Actually, I just want to ask something. I saw that the feature Stoggy on this Castle Light thing. You know what I mean? And I don't know if we were ahead of ourselves or it was very pre-planned. But shout outs to them actually, and I think also maybe we were a bit harsh. But I think
No, we weren't. No, we weren't harsh. No, we weren't harsh.
Okay.
No, we were real.
We were real.
We were very real about it. And to say that we were real about it doesn't mean we were coming from a point of we want the money. It's coming from a point of saying, guys, what you are doing with a culture that we really care about is not cool. Now, what they've done with including Stogie, I'm all for it. All for it. It doesn't have to come to us, but let it come to this country.
And Rouge. They've included Rouge as well for the next episode. So I'm assuming that each episode will have two different people.
You think they'll include us one day?
I don't know after everything that we've done, but I think it's dope. I mean, Rouge has done one episode, Stogie T's also done one episode, but they're all still being hosted by Sway, which I think is obviously according to whatever contract. Whether we influenced Stogie to be on or whether we didn't is neither here nor there, because I actually think that contract was put together before we came along. It just so happened that we preempted it, which I think was really awesome. But yeah, man, as long as South African artists are getting a piece of the bag, that's what matters for me.
I hope to see. I wish to see. Sorry, man. I know you guys want to go, but I wish to see more like engagement, more user engagement services. It would be nice to see the likes of. I know we're probably going to get mentions crazy for this, like Aries, for example. Where people, the public, needs to choose who they want to see, like as more of a user-generated content or user-generated engagement type of content that they could use. I think that'll be out of the box and that'll be dope. So out of nowhere, Jay, to say, which artist would you like to see? Boom, put that artist on.
Yeah,
and Speedy, we letting that flying fish bottle go just this one time.
I was about to mention, like, yo, kunini hleli.
Oh, tell us, Speedy.
We know you
What's
have a
happening
working relationship with flying fish. We know you have a working relationship with flying fish. And because we are such supportive cast members, we are letting that bottle ride for this one episode.
No. I tell you the truth, I even forgot the bottle was here. Like, here's my drink. Sorry about that.
Oh.
After a whole hour.
Sprite, please call us.
Hunters,
Sprite, call us. We're in dying need. We need money.
Go!
Anyway, thank you
so
guys.
much.
Check you out on Thursday. We'll be back with another episode.
Okay, Tandaza.
Last time we had God, and we had the Christians. So now you don't have to close your eyes for this one. Singobhele, singolanga, singomafu, singoqunda, singokhuboni, singondabezitha, langa lokulunga kumnyama xaniko, kuthiwa ukunqula kokuthandaza. Silapha namhlanje. Sizocela nje inceba, sicela inkuselo, sicela ubumhlophe bufike budeje bumnyama. Sicela nibe nathi ngeli xesha noba isiduko somuntu ngubani. Sicela oqamatha basibheke, sicela umvele inqanga sijonge, sicela izihlwele zibe nathi. Incokola yonke lento lena ngamagama wabantu balapha eAfrika, hayi eMzantsi kuphela. Ndimusiyabonga ozalwa nguzwelakhe, ozalwa nguMpaswe, ozalwa nguGunya, ozalwa nguThamsanqa, ozalwa nguNgwekazi emhlabeni wasefeni engqushwa. Umama ngumamCirha, ozalwa nguNoxaka, osuka eSomerset, umakhulu wami ngumamNqarhwane, uHlabilawo, intombi yasemDulusi, intombi kaDase, yacamagusha ndithi makube kuthosiba kube yena.
Yo, I'm gonna approach you for something, Scoopy, and I think it's something that I know. I always look at myself and I'm like, that's one of the biggest one of the biggest disappointments that I've had in my life is that we don't really follow our culture as such. You understand? And I think it's gonna happen with a whole lot of black kids as well. And it's not a matter of Kuti. You've got ancestors, you're praising your ancestors, it's against whatever. No, I think it's knowing where you're from, do you understand, and where you're heading to, and know how to respect other people.
Yeah, my dad told me like the other day that our clan is from Makhathini, which is like
Rustenburg.
Almost Rustenburg. Like those are. I'm 27 years old. I didn't know that.
You must go there. You must go there, Speedy. I think it's one of those.
Yeah, you must.
You have to, you know.
Anyway, so I saw your name. You elaborated on what your name meant on your birthday.
I posted it on my birthday. The explanation of my name.
That was so dope.
Tell us,
I looked,
tell us.
man, I couldn't find it on his page. That was so dope.
Tell us, Noni, what is it?
My name is Nonqaba Nozuko-Rhwaxa. Nonqaba is my first name, named by my grandmother. It means fortress. It means basically the protector, or I don't know, the person who basically looks after the household. So that's kind of who I've become in this.
I saw also then the Xhosa meaning of it could mean like it's like scarce, something about the word scarce.
Yes. I'll go to the.
You protect us, you know that.
So having you could have been.
She's our protector.
All the time.
You're a protector.
So you guys you go off the rails all the time.
Because we love you.
But it says here it's translated to a fortress or simply a pillar of strength. And in Zulu, it can also be the name of a firstborn child in respect of the no in the beginning. This also shows that the child is the pillar of the family. Nkosazana yomuzi.
Yeah, Nkosazana yomuntu. We're still trying to know who the Muntu is, though.
Oh.
You'll find out next time on POPcast. Bye.
Wait. Since that was 420, did you smoke, Noni?
I don't smoke. I'm the most useless 420 person.
Okay, bye.
All right, peace.